Besides slot machine location and time of day, there are three more skills for choosing a winning slot machine. I can't help you win on a slot machine you've randomly chosen. Why not? But because that's not making a choice. Instead, you must be selective on which slot machine you play. Otherwise, you are the random element in your slots play. Um, that's a choice that means your winning method is based entirely on luck, and I can't make you lucky, even if and, not even not not even if you were to rub my shoulder, as so many love to do when I'm playing at slots at the casino. Instead, become a specialist with an intent and plan to win. There are three specialists at slots, which I'll cover today, each requiring a commitment to a different skill set. I'll go over each in a moment. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Thank you for watching this recording. Thank you for being here. And be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. And um, hi, Camilla. Thank you, moderators. Hey, family, friends are here. Wonderful, wonderful. If you have a question, please use hashtag question. I'll run that along the bottom of the screen. It can be a little hard to see. Excuse me. Can be a little bit hard to see on the smaller screens on the mobile phones, but it says use hashtag question when you make a comment when you're asking a question of me. There's always lots of comments back and forth, and this hashtag question is how I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is also a community video where friends check in and family check in about how their slots play has been going lately, not just my family. So improve your slots play in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get yes, where you'll get the bonuses are mentioned several places here. So you'll get community support and accountability with my Slots IQ membership. Visit professorslots.com/30 days. And you get 1 month free. And even so, it's pretty cheap. So inexpensive, excuse me. And we have great times on our Thursday night meetings, Zoom meetings, where we all get together. So, to learn more about professorslots.com/30 days, just go to courses. Or you can go to professorslots.com/30 days, or you can go to courses.professorslots.com and see all of my courses, including my free course. This is a change since my last live stream. I've been putting out some things that are helpful to many. I've been selling my gambling record keeping spreadsheets for a couple of years now, but I didn't put together instructions. So because I was selling those Excel, CSV, PDF logs that you can write in for $17, I will give. I don't know all the people who have done it. It's free with my course, and I don't. I'm not going to sort through who has and who has not purchased it. Everybody gets a 17% a $17 discount, and if you go there, you'll see that discount down from $37 is out over the next 5 days, 4 hours. So basically on Sunday at midnight, on September 18th, it's gone. So then it goes back up to the regular price. Yes. So, so if you want to go to professorslots.com /30 days for the course, free bonuses, course content, testimonials, that's all explained there. But courses.professorslots.com will have all my courses. More to come. Uh, and so I want to make sure I say hello to everybody. Dave and Lois is here from Canada. Uh, Dave and Lois, meet Camilla. Camilla is also from Canada. you should, you two, you three should talk. And yes, as Camilla says, please hit the like button. It helps to pull in folks from all over. Hi, Carrie. It's been a while. And Cheryl, good to see you as well. And I want to send out a special thank you to and Stan. I don't know that I've seen you here before. Maybe. Hmm. So good. I've seen you, but I don't think it's been here. Anyway, so welcome from to the live stream. Let's get well. This is my 156th live stream. Thank you for joining me for this conversation, whether you're one of my nearly 5,000 Facebook page followers, one of my 1,700 connections on LinkedIn, nearly 10,000 followers on Twitter, and of course, over 40,000 subs here on YouTube. And let's not forget if you're a podcast listener, because did you know this coming Saturday will be my 5-year anniversary for starting a podcast. 181 episodes published. By Saturday, more and counting. But I'm not resting on my laurels. As you just saw with my new online courses, today's live stream is about slots specialists. Are you one? Have you focused on a particular approach to playing slots? If so, tell us your approach in the live chat. Comment on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. What approach what kind of specialist are you? Give it a name, a brief description, and then just go ahead and comment on this video. I'll see your comments here on my screen, and and later on those social media sites. So it's all good. So we'll see what you've been up to in a few minutes, but I'll start with 3 types of slot specialists, each with their own skills they've had to learn and practice. Now, as for each of these, I'm going to explain an easy way to do it, to do that specialty. But there's also the specialists, dig in and get good at it, even when it's not in a state which makes it easy. And that's where the real magic starts. So, rarely has it been an easy slots journey for these specialists, the ones who practice and get good. Yet the value they've gotten from winning tells its own story. So let's get into the first specialist. The first specialist is the progressive slots specialist. I should be clearer than that. I'm not talking about progressive betting, but betting on progressive slot machines. The machines that can have line hits, but also wins are possible for slowly increasing jackpot sizes. Now, I have, people who have never met me before, never been to a live stream. They're here now, and I want to make sure I explain, people who have never been to a casino perhaps, or just a few times. So I want to make sure I explain things properly. Now, the rest of you, some others may I have questions for you guys, you folks. So these progressive machines have line hits, but they also have wins for possible for slowly increasing jackpot sizes. Usually, many of them, and a lot of them have names: Grand, Mega, Maxi, Major. Sometimes minors and minis too, but only if they change value. And sometimes the top progressive jackpot is simply called progressive. And sometimes they don't have a name, but just a label with what symbols you need and how many of those symbols will get you that progressive jackpot amount. Are you a progressive jackpot specialist? It's easy to get started if your slot machine has a must hit by or must win by next to each progressive jackpot. If you haven't seen it, let me show you what it looks like. one example. It's kind of a low resolution picture, but I'll share it here. Can you see that right here at the bottom? So this is a minor. It is a progressive minor rather than just a 50.00, which never changes, or 25.00, which never changes. This is a progressive. It climbs. But beneath it, it's kind of small, and you might never have noticed on your slot machines, must hit by $38.88. Apologize for this being so small. If I go in, it gets a little blurry. That's the best I can do. Okay. So this is something that we're starting to see a little bit more of, and that's what it looks like. Since it's so much faster to become a progressive jackpot specialist, make sure you look for it on your progressive jackpot machines. Sometimes casinos will only have this label on a few of their progressive machines, but it's well worth looking for. The amount of time that it saves on your investment to become progressive jackpot specialist is financially valuable. But basically, the idea here is to only make bets on a progressive slot machine when a progressive jackpot is getting close to the must hit by amount. As you bet, a portion of your bet will go towards increasing all of the progressive jackpots. And what you're trying to do is to get one of those progressive jackpots to reach its must hit by value. You're smart people, so you probably realize that the closer the progressive jackpot is to the must hit by value, then the less bankroll you need to spend, and therefore the more profit you'll make when it hits. If you try to reach it from too far away, you won't make as much or possibly lose money trying. So specialists have equations for making these calculations. Maybe sometime I'll explain how those are used, but for now, I'll say these equations are very progressive machine specific. Bet size matters, as does how, put that away. Bet size matters, as does how a bet is split between a bunch of different progressive jackpots of different sizes. Some machines have more progressive jackpots, some have less. So, if it was straightforward, I'd just tell you the equation. But a progressive jackpot specialist creates their own. Why? Because they are a specialist. I mentioned that being a progressive jackpot specialist is easier when slot machines have a must hit by label next to the progressive jackpot amount, but most don't have that label. But even then, there's often a must hit by amount. No label, but it still exists. Not the label, but the must hit by amount. And a progressive jackpot specialist figures out what it is. My strategy to progressive jackpots, let me share. This is the article. It's just professorslots.com/progressive-jackpots. It's, progressive jackpots, small, large, life-changing. I also have a YouTube video on this, which I have embedded in this article. What I need to do is put in the podcast episode so you can read, watch, and listen. Multimedia website articles. So this is where I explain how to do that, including what level of commitment is needed to make such a long-term investment. But you don't have to be a specialist. Let me put Stan away. Okay. But you don't have to become a specialist at progressive jackpots to improve your chances of winning progressives. As a slots generalist, this is what you do. This is what works. Keep an eye on the top progressive jackpot for the slot machines you like. Someday, you'll be startled to see it being higher than you've ever seen it before. And that's when you play it. Just keep that observational skill tucked away in the back of your mind. And if you never notice these things, then it doesn't work. But just a little bit of attention, like so many other observations that matter with winning at slots at your casino, it'll serve you well because a specialist is faster, but becoming a specialist is faster, but a lot less effort might get you there on your slots journey. The next slot machine specialist is advantage players. Well, if you listen, read, or watch my content, we're all advantage players. But it's also a traditional term. A traditional advantage player is someone who takes advantage of slot machine game rules. Ever see those groups of people that watch others play slots who then all swoop in on a single slot machine when a player leaves it? Those are advantage play specialists. How do you become an advantage play? How do you become an advantage player specialist? Start reading slot machine game rules. On video slot machines, these are 8 to 10 digital slides that, frankly, are designed to be hard to read, usually all capital letters and using lots of marketing terms. Seriously, these game rules are often nonsensical. I find them disturbing. But read the game rules on each machine you play. What you're looking for is a specific advantage, and that advantage is a portion of the bankroll bet by a previous player goes into a collection which can be given back to the player. But there's one more thing. It can't be zeroed out on the slot machine when the player leaves the machine. The next player needs to be able to have access to it. Dancing drums is like that first scenario. So many wannabe AP specialists thinks the partial full bucket holds over to the next player, yet the game rules, if anybody bothered to check, says it doesn't. So read the game rules. See if there's an advantage available to be that second player. Then join the crowd of AP specialists watching for innocent, I should say ignorant, but who knows these things besides us, players who get up and leave that bucket behind. Just remember that advantage players specialists are well known by the slot machine manufacturers. They added that video graphic showing a filling bucket on dancing drums slot machines just to take advantage of wannabe AP specialists. Check the game rules. And there's one more thing to watch for. Sometimes there is an advantage, but sometimes there's not much of an advantage. And for other games, there's a huge advantage. That you have to watch for that subtlety. It's what you need to get good at interpreting as an advantage player specialist. Here, I'll help you get started. Look for this slot machine. Ocean Magic. Thank me later. But again, the main disadvantage is that if too many people know about it, and too many people know about Ocean Magic, you can't get on these machines. The original player is no longer ignorant. They know all about advantage plays on that machine, which brings me back to my suggestion. Read slot machine game rules. Start with Ocean Magic and find the wording of its advantage play to know what to start looking for on other machines, and find advantage plays that few others know about, because you are going to be rare if you read the game rules. Once you start finding them, well, tell me so I can tell everybody. Well, no, keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell me. And that's how you become a great advantage play specialist. The third specialist is someone who understands different denominations have different odds of winning. If they are in one of 6 states, including Nevada, state return statistics are broken down by slot machine denomination. So if you're in Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nevada, and South Dakota, look up the denominations with the best odds of winning. And no, it's a myth that higher denominations have better odds. Just look at these return statistics from these 7 states, and it's easily disprovable. But some people love their slot machine myths. Just they will never die. Don't even get me started on volume control. If you're not playing slots in one of these 7 states, just knowing different denominations have different odds is great for being a specialist at multi-denomination machines. Just cycle through these denominations, avoid penny slots, and note which denomination gives you the most wins. Then play that denomination only. So this is how you get started on being a progressive betting specialist. And there's some suggestions out there in the internet about just cycling through all of them. Well, stop on the one that you win more on. Stop on the one that you win more often on. And multi-denomination machines are becoming more and more problems, more and more common, and we need techniques to win on them. And this is a major one. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. If you look at courses.com slash courses.professorslots.com, you'll see my courses and the 124 lessons here for my course. Note that it is $97. That is a permanent price that I've decided to go with. And this is the page where you sign up. And this is the curriculum, structure, payment options, and bonuses. So, you'll get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit courses.professorslots.com to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Right. So this is usually what I do in a live stream. For those that are new, I talk for about 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes about a particular topic that a lot of people like to see. And see if you like it. This video will only be available, this live stream will only be available for a week unless you have the URL for it, and then I will see how it performs, and if people really like this topic, I'll make an article on this topic, and the ones that get the best attention get the articles. Now, this particular live stream is going to be probably 3 articles, of which I've made one already, my progressive jackpot strategy, but the 2 others I haven't written up yet. Unfortunately, I've got like 50 articles that I need to write, and need to really get on that. But of course, it's helping you is my goal here. And in this last week, instead of writing those articles or putting out podcasts, I made these 2 additional courses, and including the free one. So enjoy. Right. So it's been 25 minutes since I started the live stream. And so in the next hour and a half, an hour and 35 minutes, I'll take your questions and answer them. If we run out of questions, that'll be it. And let's see what the questions are. There's lots of people saying hello, and that's great. And Lois and Dave and Lois know my father, and I hope that he is doing well. I haven't actually spoken to him in just a little bit. It's probably getting ready for his trip. That's that time of year. Okay, so Elaine, hi to all who get here. I look forward to these sessions. Great. Again, thank you to the moderators. One of which is lots of fun. Who says hello. Another team, a married couple like Dave and Lois. Let's have fun while learning together. And Camilla. Hey, Camilla, always nice to see you. Yes, thank you. Please hit the like button. Couldn't care less about the subscribe button. It's all about the like button. And Stan is in Maryland. Hi, Stan. And Serena C. Hi, all, and hugs to the kitty. So right here is one of my kitties. I can't show you, but Hetty Uh, um, Now I'm not seeing Emil, but Hetty was the camera shy individual. So I brought out a big floor mattress dog bed for my 80-pound dog and laid it out there. And so my little runt of a cat is lying right in the middle of it, right here. So she has shown up. I wish I could show you that. And of course, Isaac is looking at me from under the table. Hi, Isaac. Okay. Camilla says she's returning to the casino at the end of the year. Uh, Noah says I'm a slots loserist. You know, everybody's a slots enthusiast, and loserist is a new word on me. Is that a word? And slots generalist, a slots specialist. Uh, and Kevin says, "You're in the correct place to fix that, Noah." Um, and Noah says, "Yes, thank you." So I'm sharing these comments back and forth just to point out there's a lot of comments back and forth, and and so I will try to hit use hashtag question, and I'll look for those. Um, right. Mani, as Kevin is commenting back, Mani is saying, where do you see the must hit by date? Looks like a typo. So what you are looking for is under or next to or beside. Let me see if I can share this for you, Auntie. And I have to put your question away. And it's under normally the actual amount of the minor. So this one would have, and thank you for Kevin for providing this. It is under the major, the minor, the maximum, the whatever the progressive uh, jackpots were on this machine. Under them is that must hit by. Sometimes it says must pay by, and it's basically something like that. And if it's not there, it's not there. And again, my article on uh, progressive jackpots goes into all of this in detail, as I have a video on it, and I also one of my podcast episodes, and you can just read the article. So it's professorslots.com/progressive dash jackpots, and fully explain there. Yeah, each one of these being a specialist is, I could expand on it, make a whole live stream about it, that sort of thing. But I wanted to talk about that there are specialists, introduce you to the idea that there are specialists, and if you're one. And let's see if anybody has said that there is. Um, uh, let's see if there's more. Kevin says that there are also must hit by bonuses now, such as Regal Riches has a must hit by bonuses. So there's that's something I was trying to talk about. There's major, minor, mini, mega, maxi, but there's also progressive jackpots, which are get these symbols and you'll get that progressive. And that's more along the lines of what Kevin's talking about with it's not exactly a jackpot, it's a bonus. Thank you, Monty. I think we answered your question. Right. So, yes, the article, which I did not make for progressive jackpots, which I did not make the entire topic of this live stream. It's already out there in a video. Yes, you want to keep for the specialist. They keep tabs on what is the maximum number they see, what's the minimum number they see on a progressive when it restarts, and that way they learn where that progressive is when you don't have a must hit by, must pay by amount label. And so that's what the progressive jackpot approach is. The easy thing to do, to not be a specialist, but just to make one little change to your gambling, is to keep an eye on the slot special, on the amount of the jackpot, and just say, that's never been that high before, which is I get YouTube comments on people, not understanding how this works, and then they come back, and from my content, they're just like, "We saw a progressive that had never been that high before. We play it all the time. We would walk by it, and we were like, and we sat down and we won it." And if you do that, my job is done. I'm trying to help, you know. Although you probably want to know how to get out of the casino with your money, and I have a course on that. Um, Jan is another one of my moderators. Thank you, Jan. Texas Tootsie is her username, and welcome. So the title of this live stream is three more skills. So other skills that I've talked about, and at the first sentence of this live stream, have to do with highly visible locations, time of day, coming back a week later, all my other strategies. And Audie says I return to the same machine, same time, every Sunday between 5 to 6 p.m., dancing drums and end machine by the line to the restaurant. $5.88 bet, 6 Sundays in a row, over $1,000 wins. Congratulations. Well done. You worked hard for that. Yes. There are this whole group of people who are like watching to jump on a machine. There are worse names than saying vultures. So yes. And Kevin, who is the person I go to, who knows the most of, I think, anyone I know about advantage players, says, Kevin's great, is talking to Sal and says, you must have some aggressive advantage players at your casino. Kevin and I have gone back and forth on emails many times about just how annoying those folks are. There's some black hat methods which are practically evil, and I don't like to talk about. That's not my brand. Yes, Miss Y says, I've been doing that and been lucky here and there, but I think the real secret is to know when to walk away. I talk about this all the time. I'll probably mention it 15 times during this live stream. You can win, but it doesn't matter as much as being able to leave with your winnings. I think that winning, is easy. Getting out with your winnings is what's hard. And and a couple of comments, but no questions. Lois is telling me my dad is doing great. Talk to him Sunday, getting ready for his trip. Yep, that's what I thought. Camilla has a question. Any other games similar to Ocean Magic where you can see a symbol coming up like the bubbles that can pay the next player? There's a couple of games. What you want to do is Google advantage play slots. However, as as my friend Paula, my moderator Paula, has had to tell me several times, be aware that it's the internet. And I don't particularly care for advantage play slots. I don't get into that. I'm a specialist in other ways. And I'm not a big time specialist in advantage play slots, but there are websites that claim these machines do this. So the approach that I was explaining to you is what you do. You read what they say, what machines they say, and that will save you time. But the problem with most people is they don't check the game rules to see if any of that's true. So go check the game rules. It would cut down on, so you don't have to check 1,000 slot machines in your casino with 1,500 slot machines. It could give you a good start. I wanted to give you one with Ocean Magic so that you could find what the wording would be and do that. If others have suggestions on advantage plays, machines, feel free to share. But remember that it's going to be the information needs to be verified, because there's a lot of people out there. I've had consultations with people who told me about the advantage play for, what is it called? Big money, big money. Yeah, the top dollar. That's right. And they were telling me about it, and they had purchased it for somebody, and I think the whole point was to purchase it. That was the whole thing. Maybe the person spent 15 years playing top dollar and knew. Maybe they didn't. And so those things all become, I'm sorry, I'm explaining the internet to you. Sal says, hashtag question. If the minor and mini moves up. Oh, right. So, okay. So let me explain to others what you're talking about. If the minor or mini moves up with denomination, shouldn't I play the higher denomination when the grand and major doesn't change? It depends on which one you're going for. All right. This is an excellent question, so everybody can see what a specialist thinks about. Getting more from that, more from that win is a great idea. But if you're further from the must hit by amount, then you're going to spend more. So it all becomes a equation. And this is the equations, the use of some of the equations that I was talking about is how do you take advantage of it the most? And so when you go up the denomination, you can win. But then you're kind of like ruling out higher denominations can have lower odds, and then you're kind of like ruling out the possibility of line hits. So this is all, how much bankroll am I willing to spend for the risk it's going to take to win one of the progressive jackpots? You said two, but you're actually going for one of them. So this is all being careful. Yeah. From Facebook, we have Susan. There's maxed out grand at yes. Fire Keepers. There's also a Maristar in Missouri. That's part of what the progressive jackpots article goes into. There are machines that have must hit by amounts. There are machines that don't have must hit by amounts shown, but are must hit by amount machines. And then there's the third kind, which is they don't have a must hit by internally or labeled, and you have to figure out whether or not your machine, the specialist has to figure out if their machine has that. And it can be a tough call. This is what makes a specialist, to figure that out. I like it when a casino will raise and raise and raise the progressive jackpot and then stop, because that's not a must hit by. And that tells me, whoa, back off, right? It makes me suspicious that no progressive machine in the casino has a must hit by either hidden or not. And makes me very suspicious of all that. That's what a specialist starts to think when they see this sort of thing. Yeah. I'm not saying Fire Keepers, where I've been to, love. If Jason was here, he's usually on the Saturday show. He could tell you his opinion about it. But their location works great. There's a main intersection on the way from the entrance to the high limit room, and yeah, we got stories. We got stories to share. Um, oh yeah, FF chef. I don't have a uh, a a contract with Belterra Park, but there's a Pirates Cove machine that does that, and I have images that I kinda, like, snuck, but I don't wanna put it on the internet. It's copyright violation if you don't have, even if don't let me don't get me started on legal stuff. It's a copyright violation, and, to share it, but I know exactly what you mean. I was just looking at a picture, of something similar. Steve, yeah, you can get, like, when the whole large video slot machine has multiple columns that are opens up higher. You can get a mini, a minor. I think one time I got two minis and a major and a minor, all in that one win. So, yeah, Pirate Falls, maybe that was it. Um, I feel like kind of opening that image, but I don't want to take my time away from you guys. Steve says, "Hey, Steve." Steve is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hashtag question. I noticed at my local that they have about 10 different machines with higher than normal grands on them and haven't seen it in over 3 months. So over 75 grand and 50 and 40 grands. Something might be going on. Now, there's more to your casino. One of the things I talk about is knowing your casino well. Uh, and so do you have a must hit by amount? Hard question, but maybe you spent the time, knowing you probably spent the time to know does the progressive jackpots stop at a high number and increase no more, or what, do they have a few that have must hit by, check. It's such a small little label next to the must hit by. The must hit by label is so small next to the jackpot display, for each individual jackpot. Something to look for. It makes everything a whole lot easier. um, let's see. ah um the one I was playing, FF Chef, uh it I didn't check. I didn't check. I think it didn't carry over to the next player, Pirate Cove or whatever, Pirate Falls, and, it's that's exactly what you need to check. I've specialists ask excellent questions, honestly, and so you already asked that question, Steve, and, uh so Steve says on these progressive machines, some say you have a better chance of hitting if you be higher, true or false? So, okay, so what's going on with Steve's question, is if you are on, if your top progressive jackpot is $2,000, then it's a standalone progressive. But if it's $10,000 on the grand or major, then or mega, then it's has to be networked to maybe 5 to 10 other machines. And I've talked to slot managers and they say the easiest thing to do is just put them all together. It could be on a carousel of 8 machines. And if those other machines are occupied, then you're all in the race to get the progressive jackpots. And if everybody bets the same amount, then there's a 1 in 8 chance that you'll win that progressive. And there's a 7 in 8 chance you won't. However, if everybody on that carousel is making minimum bets, you make maximum bets. And then you'll have a 50-50 chance of winning because you're making 5 times the bet size. And so for your bet, it climbs higher, and you're more likely to, in that jump, hit the must hit by amount. Yeah. So it's not just true or false, it's why is it true? Why is it false? Sal, question, as I ask in the and the last question, if I am going to hit one of these prizes, shouldn't raise the minor or mini to the higher amount because it is hard to hit one of the prizes. Exactly. Minors and minis are, popping all the time. And so if you want to, you can win those more often uh, by making the bigger bets. And whether it's a carousel, whether it's a standalone, lots of small wins, but you are paying for it. And sometimes you spend less money for the lower denomination and your profit is greater because you didn't spend as much money, but you might get more for the minis and minis and what do we say, minis and minors. You might win more with those on higher denominations, but you may have spent twice as much, and so your profit ends up being less. So this is all a calculation. This is what specialists, progressive jackpot specialists do, is they look at this and say, what's the better approach? How far do I have to go to win? How do I get there? If there's a must hit by amount, that's wonderful because you make small bets to get it to that number. And hopefully somebody's on the network to help you get it to that number. And then just before you get to that number, you hit maximum. And that's a simple version that a specialist thinks about to get over the number, but spends as little as possible. Because it's, if you spend too much, there was no point in getting it. I mean, if you're thinking about making money, if you're thinking about having fun and you always get minimums and all of those and you want more, well, then we're not talking about making money anymore. Go for it. So as I always say, what's your gambling goal? And if you're there to make money, you do what's necessary. And if you're there to have fun, knock yourself out. I think you're there to make money, but and like me, you might find that fun. Okay, this all gets really complicated. Complicated fast. Cheryl Pounds. Hello, Cheryl. I played top dollar last time I went to the casino. Played a few $3 bets, all on free play, and I set myself up to no more than 10 spins. The last spin, I got the bonus round, won $55. Not bad. That is not bad. Well done. Well done. Sal says, thank you, Professor. And okay, let's see. I'm going to check to see if there's any last minute questions. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win online course. You'll get 3 free valuable bonuses, which, as I explained here, 3 free valuable bonuses. These are those bonuses. And plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. And if you're interested in, say, my free course or my heavily discounted for only the next 5 days and 4 hours and 10 minutes and 53 seconds, courses.professorslots.com. You're more than welcome to see all of that. And I wanted to check to see if there's any more questions. I don't see any more questions, so I guess that will be it. That is it. What a great live stream. You'll see me in my next live stream on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, watch this video on a much easier way to win at slots than becoming one of these specialists.